Well, today I had a day off work. It's election day. So me and my youngest son, Doug, we went to see Bohemian Rhapsody, the Queen biopic, I guess I like to call them these days. Documentary. Probably not really a documentary because I'm sure they took a lot of liberties with some of the stories and the history of it. I've always enjoyed the music of Freddie Mercury and Queen. And when I saw the trailer for this a few months ago, I thought, oh, that would be a movie I would like to go see in the theater. With the sound system and the big screen, it just seems to lend itself towards seeing it in the theater as opposed to waiting for the DVD or streaming. I think, well, just to give you an idea of how seldom I go to movies, the last movie I went to see was Saving Mr. Banks. And you know how long ago that came out? I don't even remember, but which actually still I should say ranks as one of my top 10 favorite movies of all time, and probably will for a long time to come because I really, really enjoyed Saving Mr. Banks. But if I give Mr. Banks a 5 stars out of 5-star rating, I would have to give Bohemian Rhapsody 4 stars at the most. Low on the 4 star, oh, very low on close to 4 stars. It was good. It was entertaining. It just, there was something about it that felt a little off. I don't know. Like I say, I've always been a fan of the Queen music, their popular songs, some of their less popular ones, but I never really read up or studied a lot about the band and their history, their relationships. Read a little bit about Freddie Mercury and his, up and down relationships with his good friend Mary and, his later relationships with other men. But I don't know. It was different. It wasn't really what I expected. It was starred the man who played Freddie Mercury. I think his name was Remy Malek. Fantastic job for the most part. I think there was a couple areas where I thought he could have did better, or the production designers could have did a little better. Let's see. Oh, they didn't seem to age him very well as the movie went on. He seemed too young for the part by the time he was playing a sick Freddie. And when they put the mustache on, the mustache seemed a little out of proportion to his face. It didn't seem to match what I remember Freddie Mercury looking like with the mustache. But those are just nitpicky little small things. The pictures of the rest of the band, here's a couple of comparisons from what the real band looked like and what the actors in this movie looked like. And you can see they did a pretty darn good job of, the costuming, makeup, the lighting, and the cinematography was all first rate. Especially enjoyed the scenes where they went on their first American tour, and it showed the bus traveling from small town to small town across the country. Just some random shots. It wasn't a big part of the movie. It was a 2.5-hour movie, and there was just so much to cover and so much to try and squeeze in there. Even at 2.5 hours, they really couldn't show a whole bunch of what they probably wanted to. But I always found it fascinating that the bands back then, even the more successful, popular bands, would travel from city to city across the United States in buses, stopping at almost every major town along the way and playing a show. Cleveland to Detroit and up through Flint and Saginaw, then across the state to Lansing and Kalamazoo, and then on to Chicago. They did like nonstop touring. They did like 6 shows in 7 days at one point, and it's just amazing the tour schedule bands back then were able to accomplish and get out there and, promote the albums and the songs to their fans out in rural America. And the other funny thing, they didn't address this in the movie at all, was that Queen only made one national appearance on U.S. television. There was only one time when they were on TV in the United States for a national audience, other than the Live Aid concert, that was when they appeared on Saturday Night Live. The movie, got a PG-13 rating. One use of the F word, which I believe is the limit for a PG-13 movie in an appropriate, whatever you want to call that, context. No sex scenes really at all. There was one scene where Freddie is kind of like on the bed, but he's clothed and she's covered, just talking. And then there's another scene where Freddie kisses a man, and there really isn't much in the way of sex. There's some drug use hinted at, some drug paraphernalia sitting around. So, yeah, you wouldn't really call it a family-friendly movie, but, for people of a certain age who grew up watching Queen, who wants to see what the lifestyle and the creative process of some of the old songs were back then, maybe some of the relationships between the band members, it was really good. Freddie's sexuality was explored a little bit, but not too much. Even more so, they explored the relationship, or the, troubled relationship he had with his own father. And that was kind of interesting to see his relationships with his family and how that might have been a driving factor in his drive to be successful and well known. But see it for yourself. Don't take my word for it. If you're a Queen fan or a fan of rock music from the 70s, any of those things, go out and see it. It's worth seeing. I saw it at an IMAX theater. This show was quite good at the IMAX. Don't see it if you just want to go see a concert movie, because, the Wembley Stadium scenes were well done and very impressive, but the truth is, if you want to see the Wembley show, there's plenty of sites and videos on YouTube and on the internet where you can watch the Wembley concert with the original Freddie and the band. So, there's, as well as that was done, it really isn't an important part of the movie. But that's my review for such as it is. I'm not a movie reviewer, but I just had to put that one out here because, it's one of the very few movies I do actually go see. And like I say, the first one in like 4 or 5 years I went to see. All right, well, hope you enjoyed at least hearing my take on it, and we will talk to you hopefully tomorrow. Have a great day.